when a person knows that they have made the right decision to get care in a timely manner, then they're able to keep their morale, be realistic about what's before them, and then glean an understanding of what's going to take to rehabilitate and then simply move forward because
Welcome to another episode of the Happy Friday Committee, Happy Friday Committee Mindset. Today we have a special guest, Dr. Walters, who is just a brilliant man. He has done so many things in his lifetime. And I asked him on here today to get his perspective on the Happy Friday Committee Mindset, which is being fearless, resilient, intuitive, determined, appreciative, and youthful. How you doing today, Dr. Walters?
oh, just wonderful. I'm blessed today and hope you're well.
Oh, I am excellent. I am excellent. Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
And I'm very anxious to get your perspective on this
Yeah,
with
hey,
your
let's
wealth
do
of
it.
knowledge and everything. So just starting off with the word fearless and I want to make this in the framework of what you did in the medical field.
Okay.
So being fearless, what does fearless mean to you? And can you give us an example of that?
Sure. Well, fearless as opposed to fearful. You're not frightened or apprehensive concerning any particulars. It's being unafraid. It's being brave or courageous. Some examples that I can use is, as an example, like a soldier. A
Mm,
soldier making a charge toward a hill, never done that before, and yet the order is given. And so therefore that person have to approach nonetheless. It could be like a baby jumping into deep waters with no fear or apprehension at all.
uh,
Uh, and so in the medical field, there are a lot of simple to complex activities you would find yourself in, but one would have to just challenge themselves and feel confident and competent that they're able to do it.
wow, wow. You spoke of the word being competent enough to being able to do it. So if I am doing a particular task and my competency does not match exactly what I am tasked to do, and I end up failing at that task, how do I become resilient enough to bounce back from that?
You become resilient in that you overcome adversity. And the way to do that is by trying again. One has to realize that misfortunes are going to happen. There are a lot of hurdles in life that we have to leap over. Part of that is just being a natural individual. But let's take for an example, you are a person who are starting up a business and it fails because there are many things that impact businesses. You may not be in the right area, you may not have the right product or services that's needed, but then you fact find and you find those things out, and you change, you adjust. So resilience is not giving up, it's moving forward and trying certain things again. In this particular instance or case, that business person will find out that they may be able to improve and even thrive if they make the adjustment. So, being resilient is those kinds of things. Let's say in a healthcare a situation, an health issue may pause you for a moment. You just say you're a person been healthy their entire life, but then you start experiencing cardiovascular uh, situations, and you have to have surgery, maybe open heart surgery.
Mm,
But then you come back with the resilience that when I get well enough, I'm going to run a marathon,
mm.
and you do it. That's resilience.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Well, the next principle would be being intuitive. And
Mm-hmm.
I know in the medical field, you had to follow your intuition a lot. So, with that, in the things that you have experienced, how does intuition play a part in your everyday life and what you did?
So, with being intuitive or uh, intuitiveness, it really lends itself to demonstrate that you do have insight, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the knowledge, but it's part of having a keen understanding of something.
Mm,
Let's give you an example. Being in a crowd, you might instinctively feel that imminent danger is present.
mm,
So your insight kicks in and says, perhaps I don't journey into this area. I go somewhere else, or at least I mitigate those issues by examining what's around me.
mm,
So instinctively, you avoid that particular danger. Now, let's say one is not an engineer, but they look at a design for a bridge and intuitively they say, I don't think that that bridge is solid enough. So perhaps maybe I don't engage it, but over a period of time, they analyze how long could that bridge endure.
mm.
Intuitive. Not necessarily having understanding of knowledge, full knowledge, but you have an insight concerning it.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of bridges that we may cross in our life and within the medical field,
Yeah,
again,
that's right.
I know you spoke with many patients
Yes,
and the patients may have not received the best news.
that's right.
So, can you give us an example of one patient that stood out to you with their
Mhm.
determination, even though they did not receive the best news? How they received that news to overcome that difficulty or that illness?
Yes. Well, in my field, a lot of trauma ensue, of course. Um, let's say a person who've had to have heart surgery, as an example, they go in with just the idea that they're going to be examined because they're having palpitations of the chest, you're having difficulty breathing, which are signs and symptoms. And a cardiologist comes back with the news that I'm glad you're here, first of all. I want to give you good and bad news. Good news is that you're here, and of course, we can care for you. Bad news is if you're in the street somewhere and you hadn't come, you could fall dead.
Mm,
Those are hard realities to handle, but when a person knows that they have made the right decision to get care in a timely manner, then they're able to keep their morale, be realistic about what's before them, and then glean an understanding of what's going to take to rehabilitate and then simply move forward because life throws us curves.
mm.
But that doesn't mean that it's the end. So you may have a health challenge, but you move forward.
Wow, wow. And once that person moves forward, even though they may have that challenge and they overcome that challenge, how do they show appreciation for that?
They show appreciation for that by, first of all, realizing that nothing's um, maybe permanent, and they show appreciation by adjusting many things in their life. So, in other words, let's say something caused your illness or injury. Well, what one want to do is not journey back into the same thing. Let's say food. You're a person that your genetics doesn't allow you to process cholesterol well.
Mm.
Well, are you going to keep eating, say, fried or greasy foods, adding to plaque in your arteries? No. You're going to, one, if it's recommended that you take a particular prescription, you do that. Supplement, change your dieting and nutrition, exercise. Those are things that you do to show appreciation that, one, I've been given a chance, an opportunity to change this adversity in my life, and so that allows you to move on.
Excellent.
But there are many other ways to show appreciation, and essentially expressing thanks. I indicated something about a patient. Let's say an organization that is a large organization and they're trying to do many things. Well, they're receiving donations from the public, and they give thanks in maybe a public way to express their appreciation. So that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that goes into the next question, being youthful.
Okay.
How do you remain youthful in things that you may encounter and not letting life weigh you down?
That's a good one. I use the term reality. We all must give ourselves a reality check. Uh, as long as you're on the planet, you know that things constantly change. You can look yourself in a mirror and you know that you're not a baby no more. You're growing. So that doesn't mean that life is over and you're ready for the farm. What it does mean is that I can do many things to remain youthful, exercising, engaging socially with people, keeping myself apprised of what's going on in and around me. It's an attitude about being youthful. It's an expression. It's it's just demonstrating a lively attitude and spirit.
Hmm.
That's what being youthful is about. But we do that. Here's an example that I can give you. A person that's been performing for a long time on stage. Well, I still see a lot of artists at a later time in their life still performing, still giving great gratification to audiences, and so staying youthful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, out of these principles, being fearless, resilient,
hmm
intuitive,
hmm
determined, appreciative, and youthful, which one sticks out to you the most and why?
You know what? Determination is a big one, I would say, because let's say you may not be, and this not to be sarcastic or negative, you may not be the sharpest tool in the shed or the most popular individual, but you are determined to be the best you that you possibly can. Let's say an athlete on a track field. This time during a heat, he didn't gain the world record or even his personal best, but he practices and trains. The next time he gets on the field, he makes an improvement. But I'm determined to do that, and I actually do it. I achieve that. You can take a student who, average student who hadn't really done well academically, but they put their thoughts to the grind, and the next time they score 100 on the test. So it's that determination. I'm going to do better than what I've done before or what's expected of me to do. I'm gonna be determined to be better.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. Well, I would like to thank you for coming on and doing this and taking time out of your busy schedule, Dr. Walters, to do this.
Sure.
And I know this is going to help a lot of people. So thank you.
I appreciate you for interviewing me, and whatever I was able to share, I hope that it will help somebody.